There's a brand new program with down payment assistance that's available to buyers, and here is what you need to know. Let's get into it. Thanks for joining us today. I am here with Nicole from Pima Tucson Housing Innovation Hub. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here and share more about the program. That is a partnership between the Tucson IDA and the Pima IDA.
Wonderful. So let's hear a little bit about kind of your job overall first.
Sure. So as part of the Tucson IDA, my role is probably the best job title you'll ever hear, Community Development Champion. And I got to come up with that myself because I am a Tucson local. I just have such a huge heart for Tucson local business and our community, just continuing with homeownership and basically creating your best future possible.
I love that. I love it. All right. Well, great. Thank you for being here. You're here today to talk to us about one program specifically. It is the Pima Tucson Lighthouse Program. So can you tell us a little bit about what is this new program exactly?
Absolutely. So I'll start a little bit with kind of what the history of the Tucson IDA has done on the housing home front. So we started off, and a lot of people are aware of, our housing solutions. So that's Pima Tucson Housing Solutions, which is a program that has been very successful over the past 10 years, offering options for down payment assistance to our home buyers. Now, as we observed the market continue to change, post-pandemic, we had the rates really start to creep up and increase. Yes. And our program continued to be successful with the option of the Advantage product, which was the 30-year forgivable down payment assistance, right?
Yes.
So you get that down payment assistance, and after 30 years, it becomes that grant. But it offered the ability to have a lower interest rate.
Yes.
Now, when we noticed that even those interest rates were just continuing to creep up, we had to find a solution. So we looked into investing in a mortgage bond program. And the main difference is the Tucson IDA and the Pima IDA invested about $1 million to secure this bond so that the interest rate was locked in at a substantially lower than market interest rate and paired with a guaranteed 4% 3-year forgivable down payment assistance. And it has been so needed in our community.
I would agree. I have quite a few people looking to purchase that the rates and then the down payment just makes it seem like this unclimbable mountain to them. So I think this program is really going to help out a lot of people. And unfortunately, not a lot of people know about it just yet.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing at this stage is really getting the word out. Because as you mentioned, these rates are they're almost unbearable to watch because you see your dreams of home buying just kind of slip down the drain.
Exactly.
And having to come up with that cash on hand down payment assistance is a very rare thing because given the way that the economy has been, affecting each of us, very few actually have thousands of dollars just saved up that you can just put, let's put down $15,000 on some.
Exactly. The rates have impacted, I feel like, first time or, it's been a while since they've owned a home kind of buyers a lot for that very reason. The amount that you have to have saved just is really difficult in today's economy with all of the inflation. Everything's gotten more expensive. It makes saving even harder.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Okay. Well, so let's dig in a little bit about the program here. Now, I know this is for first-time buyers. So in the eyes of this program, what exactly is a first-time buyer?
This is such an important clarification to make. And in the eyes of this program, the first-time home buyer is the same as in the eyes of the federal government. So a first-time home buyer, and you'll already know this information, but when I first learned it, I was like, what? I count under this. A first-time home buyer is somebody who has not owned their home in the past 3 years.
And I think that's maybe a definition that a lot of people don't quite understand. They hear first-time home buyer, they're like, well, I owned a house 10 years ago. I'm out. They're not.
Yes.
They can absolutely take advantage of this and get back in the home buying market.
Yes. I think that's the most important point for us to continue just spreading the word. Because I owned a home in 2008, and I'm like, no, I've already owned a home. I'm not technically a first-time home buyer. But no, you are, because it's just within the past 3 years.
Exactly. Yes. And is that the same for VA buyers? I know sometimes that's a little bit different for different programs.
So actually, there are certain exemptions for being a first-time home buyer for this program. In certain instances, applicants who are military or veterans and who purchase in target areas do not have to be first-time home buyers. So that's very important to connect with the loan officer so that they can look into the specifics of your situation and be sure that you are benefiting from any of the exceptions that exist with this first-time home buyer.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about, I understand you locked the interest rate. So does that mean it's not changing?
That is absolutely right. That's exactly what it means. For one of our programs, the Home Buying Solutions program, that rate actually changes every day. And so new rates are emailed to our real estate professionals, and you grab it that day if you like it. The great thing about Lighthouse, it is locked in. That will not fluctuate or change in any way. And it is substantially below the market interest rate as we know it.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was kind of awestruck, like jaw drop with how much savings it meant for the people who are able to take advantage of this program.
Yes.
I was really excited.
Yes.
And then you kind of mentioned a little bit before about the 4% guaranteed. So can you dig back into that a little for us?
Yes, absolutely. So another thing that really makes this low interest rate awesome is that even at our lowest interest rate at other programs that we offer, that those other programs come with 0% down payment assistance, even at its lowest possible rate. Now, the Lighthouse rate is substantially lower than that one, and it comes with 4% down payment assistance. So 4% of that mortgage price is going to go to you to cover closing costs and anything that you need as down payment assistance. And after 3 years of living in that home as your primary residence, it converts into a grant and you do not have to pay it back.
That is amazing right there. So somebody who is, thinking they can't buy a house, then what I just heard is they can use this program. They can get this great interest rate, live in it for 3 years. That 4% that you just talked about is forgiven after 3 years. And then using the right loan officer and real estate agent, they can take that 4%, use 3.5% of that on an FHA loan, use half of it on concessions, get some more from the seller, and they could potentially have a house with almost no money out of pocket.
You absolutely nailed it.
All right. So this is fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about what they need to do to qualify to get into this program. Now, before we get into that, I do kind of want to put it out there. If there's something that you hear in this that you think, oh, well, I'm out, don't let that kind of break you. Still message, let us know what your situation is, because there is probably another program that we could certainly get you in that would be a good fit too. But we're here to talk about Lighthouse, so let's talk about the requirements for this one. Credit score, that's kind of everybody's big question at first. What is the credit score on this?
So the credit score minimum for this program is 640.
Okay.
And it's possible that there are some exceptions based upon debt-to-income ratio. And I would rely upon your real estate agent or loan officer to help ensure that you get the right answer on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. We always want to point them back to their loan officer, and, a good loan officer, if they're close to that 640, can usually give them take a few steps and they can get you there. So again, don't give up. This is a fantastic program. All right. So moving on to the areas then, is this all Pima County? Is this only certain parts? Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So this program, Lighthouse, is only available in Tucson and Pima County. So no other counties.
Okay. And then you were talking about target areas and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. So we have some target areas that that are determined by the census tract that we really want to, inject capital. We want to help the area thrive. And so there are exceptions and areas listed specifically on our website that are areas that qualify for some exceptions.
Hey everyone, we want to interrupt this episode to let you know that we are a Keller Williams Southern Arizona franchise.
We are also realtors practicing equal housing. Now let's get you back to the podcast.
Okay, great. So that's information's all on the website. We can check it out. And then, of course, their loan officer and agent could help them figure out if they want to move in a target area, how to find those areas.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Now, income limits. There are some income requirements for this program. So tell me a little bit about those, please.
Absolutely. So there are income limits, and for this program specifically, it's based upon household size as well as target area, so the purchase area. So just to give you the actual numbers, a family size of 1 to 2 people in a non-target area, the income maximum for the household is $91,600.
Okay, so that's going to include a lot of people.
That's going to include a lot of people. And we've found that historically with any of our down payment assistance programs, the average household income has been $54,000.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a lot of room there.
I was going to say, this has a lot of leeway then.
Yes, absolutely. And so for a family size of 1 to 2 people, the target area maximum income is a little bit higher because we want to start putting,
encouraging people
to purchase in those areas. 109,000.
Wow.
920.
That is a considerable income. That is going to include a lot of people.
Absolutely. And that's just for a family size of 1 to 2 people.
And it goes up from there.
It goes up from there. So a family size of 3 plus, the non-target area is 105,340.
Okay.
Yep. And so for target area for a family size of 3 people or more, 126,351.
That is well over what I would think the Tucson average income is.
It really is. And the great thing about this program is it allows for both our low to moderate income as well as a term that I recently heard, that missing middle.
I love that. Yeah, that group of people that still struggles a little bit, but they kind of get left out of programs. This is going to help them be able to grab in and make homeownership a real possibility.
Yes, absolutely. And for those that have really great incomes, but for just some reason or another are not able to save a substantial enough amount of money, so you'd think that they'd be able to purchase a home, but the biggest barrier is not having cash on hand.
Right. Yeah, and that is something I hear, as I'm talking to different people. Biggest reasons that they're not buying is, well, I don't have any money saved, or I don't have enough money saved, and then of course, sometimes the credit score, but I think the 640 is something that a lot of people don't realize. You can buy a home with 640. So I love that about this program. Now, I was reading a little bit about this, and under home types, it can get a little bit tricky. So if I'm understanding correctly, a single family home, a townhome, they're pretty much going to be good to go on something like that. If somebody interested in this program is looking at like a manufactured home or a condo, they're going to need to do a little extra work with their loan officer and real estate agent to make sure that the home that they're interested in would qualify. Am I correct in all of that?
You're absolutely correct. The loan officer will be able to look exactly at what you're looking to purchase and determine if it fits.
Okay, perfect. So I think probably a lot of these people are going to be looking for your traditional single-family home, and we've got a lot of flexibility there then.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so now, as far as like the best way to get started on this, if somebody's interested today, like, hey, I might fit into this. This might be great for me. What should they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to get started is to contact a loan officer. Or if you don't have a direct tie to a loan officer, but you know a real estate agent, chances are that real estate agent can connect you with some really quality options for a reliable loan officer that can qualify you for this program. Now, what's really important is as we started to get some traction with our marketing and kind of featured on the news, we started to get a lot of home buyers thinking that their qualification starts with the Tucson IDA, and that's not the case. It must be qualified through the loan officer. And on our website, we do have a list of approved lenders that our home buyers are able to reach out to and start the process.
Okay, great. So they need to talk to either their agent or a loan officer. Obviously, if they're speaking to a real estate agent, they can put them in touch with a great person. I know here at the TJK team, we've got a few great, reliable loan officers who are certified in your program. And that would be the way to start, not directly contacting you all.
You got it.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today and explaining all of the ins and outs and details of this fantastic program. I am so excited. I've already got a few people who are chomping at the bit to get in, get qualified, and actually get to owning their own home.
It has been so great to be here. Thank you so much for welcoming us into this incredible opportunity to talk about the program.
You're welcome, and I hope we can have you back here again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening and watching the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast here with the Tom J. Krieger team of Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. If you are interested in buying a home, selling a home, or even investing in real estate, we have 5,000 agents across the country that we can connect you to. If you need any free resources, feel free to check out our website at www.thetjkteam.com. We hope you have a great day.